Alright guys, I'm Akuma. I'm going to be doing a little review for the Odin Zero Gravity Pad versus what I have currently, which is I actually have two Artisan Hayate Otsus. First things first, I'm going to go and show you the condition I got the pad in. Unfortunately, I'm not very happy with the condition I got my mouse pad in, but basically it came to me in a way that I don't think was very well packaged. Here's the spot. Kind of see it there once again. And let's pull on back. And there's a few other spots like that as well. So right over here. There we go. That gives you a much better, once it focuses on my finger, what I'm talking about. That's a spot. That's another spot. So here's one of the other spots that is very, very concerning to is this right here. Like, take a look at the stitching. I'm gonna try and edit it down even further so you all can see. Get my finger in there. It'll probably there we go. So we got the edge stitching here. This is not nice. This is frayed. Um, I know Odin said like, "Hey, we've tested this out for a year. We have great durability on our mouse pad, but this is shipped to me and it was already frayed." I'm not certain that their claim of living up for a year is going to fact true, especially like when you're traditionally if you're using your arm and it's all of a sudden like rubbing up and down, rubbing up and down. Now, like I said, they are quite smooth. It's not where I expected it to be. Now, we'll take a look closer at the actual edges. We'll see the edges and kind of nice and soft. I don't think this will irritate most people. It's genuine. I think it's pretty made. I don't have problems with it, and I'm someone who's pretty sensitive for my skin when it comes to using, let's say, like my Hayate Otsu, largely because they're several years old and they're the classic style, which is no edge stitching. Uh, but there's also some slightly odd parts of the stitching. So it has this little edge here. Not a, not like I don't know if that's normal. I don't know if that's like by design, but it's there. It's you'll see like it's an oddball in terms of there. Yeah, so it's right over here. So it comes out a little bit more, and you'll see on the reverse side, which is here's the actual stitching and where it lines up is slightly different. So I have stitching that looks like that. So if we take a look around some of the edges in the meantime, they look generally good, like the underside of the stitching. So there's no question of like whether or not this is generally built well. It seems to me like it generally is. There's, like I said, the minor things that I pointed out, but that the other side is disconcerting to me that it's already frayed. So I'll show you real fast how grippy it is on my top. So I'm gonna try and pull this very, very lightly now. I'm gently tugging it right now. This is very little movement. There you go. I'm pulling a little bit harder now. And it's slowly coming. Like if I go in full do a full pull on this, this is easy enough to move, like no question. Now, if you're generally using this, like get if you're getting really into something, I don't think you're going to be like pulling this off at any time. You're basically going to have this pad stay in place, especially if you've got yourself, a keyboard sitting on that bad boy. The added weight not going to allow it to slide around. It's going to do its job as you expect and really just stay in place. So the backing is good on my top, which, like I said, is mostly leather. You can see the aging and the fact that it wasn't very well cared for. This is the lightest of pulls. So yes, a Hayate Otsu doesn't grip the table very well in comparison. Here's the thing: in my years of using it, I have not had any issues with this slipping around because no one is pulling their mouse pad from like this. They're using their mouse pad like this. So there's enough weight from either your arm, you pressing down enough with your mouse, but ultimately there's little to no real movement when you're using this. All right, so for this portion, I'm going to do a little mouse sound test so you can get an idea of what the mouse sounds like. This right here is a Hayate Otsu Soft, and I will do it on also a mid, and then I will do it on the Odin. So first off, here is movement. I'll have the microphone held in place, so kind of like where how the sound is while you're moving, and then you can kind of I'll follow with the microphone so you can hear it as it continues to move without essentially distance changing from the microphone. So that was the Hayate Otsu, and that was in the soft. So next up, we'll grab my really, really old Hayate Otsu Mid. So that was the mid, and now we're going to go to the Odin. And just for kind of like a noise level check, um, that gives you a general idea of how loud my mic is and how loud, you know, bad snaps are. The Odin is significantly nicer in terms of general feel. Hayate Otsu wins in terms of actual speed, and Odin Gaming though has the win in terms of actual feel with a light hand. If you have a heavy hand, I don't recommend the Odin Gaming because it's like nails on chalkboard effect to me. It's a higher pitched sound, which is so that's the general sound. In comparison, it's a louder sound from the Hayate Otsu Mid, but it's a more pleasing sound to me. Now, both are going to do the job of giving you some speed. And the thing is, like, it feels nice overall. It feels nicer, the surface, especially if you're light-handed. Like, this is nice, feels smooth, no problem. And this, it glides faster, in my opinion. Now, in terms of squishiness, what I'd consider the Hayate Otsu Mid has it has give. Of course, everyone has give, but it has very little give, and because of that, it's going to remain faster. And if you do have a heavy hand, if you don't have a heavy hand, then Odin will serve you fine. Um, Now, the Odin, on the other hand, squishes down what I consider a decent amount more than the mid, but it's not so much more that I actually think it's the same as, for instance, the soft. The soft here is, you can see, pretty squishy overall, how far I can push down into there. Now, do that once more for you. I'll get a little bit closer, so it'll be a little bit easier. You can see I pushed down, but it doesn't look quite the same as the soft on a Hayate Otsu. Let's look at the weaves on both of these really fast. This is the soft weave. We'll get real close here. So here's your surface weave. The surface is definitely noticeable in terms of like, there is a little bit of a rough texture, and remember, these are used mouse pads. You can see the surface has what you can consider kind of like a rough texture across it. But it doesn't feel bad on your hands at all. Like this is not going to bother you. That was the soft. It shouldn't matter too much between the mid and soft, between the Hayate. The surface is fairly nice and uniform. Like I said, it feels good. You don't feel any difference up, down, left, right, sideways, diagonal, sending yourself to another universe. Whatever you do, it's going to feel nice, the pad. But once again, there's issues with how it's shipped. It was shipped to me in a box facing outward for the actual pad, and the fraying on the side over here. So let's get nice and close. There is some fraying over here. That's perfect. There you go. You can see the difference between both sides. And I took a wet cloth, to try and clean this up. Didn't really do too well there. Should you buy this? That is going to be a hard question. I'd say from my research, the Thor is probably the closest competition to the Odin right now. The problem with Thor is the shipping time and potential durability issues. But remember, I already have what I'd consider a durability issue. This over here is not an acceptable issue. You can actually see the weave a little bit off. Yeah, you can see that pretty well now. I'll contact Odin about it and see what they have to say or what they'll do. Because if they're not going to replace the mouse pad, I highly advise you not to get an Odin Gaming. Because clearly getting shipped a product that's already dirty and stained, not good. But in terms of like durability, they said this is supposed to be easy to clean up. I took water, had some time to dry it, and I still see the spot there. It's still nice and dirty looking. I like the Odin. The texture is nice. The stitching around here feels generally nice. But I'm concerned once again about true durability and true stain resistance. They claim great stain resistance. I got it dirty out of the box, which alludes to me that it doesn't have great stain resistance. And I did just clean my mouse pad. It's still a little wet, and the spots on here seem to mostly have gone, but the edge has not gone, which is very, very disappointing because it would have been fine otherwise. Buy it if you need a giant desk pad, but it's not going to beat the speed of any pad that is supposed to be fast. Don't if you can get an Artisan. The Artisan is going to feel faster and serve you just as well as anything from Odin. This Mid is 4 years old. I just watched it. It's a lot dirtier from just now, but I don't feel it's any faster, the Odin, and I don't think it's any better, the Odin. At worst, the Odin is a slower pad than a Hayate Otsu. At best, it's equal to the Hayate Otsu. In terms of feel, it has a better feel than the Hayate Otsu. So I'd say getting an Artisan if you have particular preferences, and if you don't have particular preferences, this bad boy will do you fine. And for the price, it's a very, very reasonable buy. Now, like I said, durability issues have already cropped up on mine without in terms of stitching. Um, but this could be an absolute fluke. So I'll keep you guys updated on that front so you can find out. Thanks again. And I'm Akuma once again. And if you enjoyed this, just let me know. Maybe I can start doing some mousepad reviews